Good evening, and welcome to your AI Daily Press evening podcast for April 14, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. We have a trio of significant stories to summarize for you tonight. Firstly, the U.S. blockade of Iranian ports has sparked concerns about further escalation in the region. The situation is complex, with geopolitical tensions and economic interests at play. We're seeing warnings about potential acts of war against merchant ships from countries like China, India, and Pakistan. We'll continue to monitor this situation closely. In other news, the International Monetary Fund has released its latest World Economic Outlook, and the numbers are stark. The UK is expected to face a significant hit to growth, with a downgrade of 0.5 percentage point to 0.8% this year. This is largely due to the ongoing Iran war and higher energy prices. The IMF warns that the global economy is at risk of being thrown off course, and policymakers must navigate these challenges carefully. Lastly, India has announced its decision to withdraw from hosting the 2025 United Nations Climate Change Conference. The move is seen as a pragmatic decision, driven by India's disappointment with the lack of progress on climate finance commitments made by developed countries. Despite its own notable climate actions, India's continued reliance on coal and emissions intensity have drawn criticism. The search for a new host country is underway, and the global climate conversation will continue. These stories highlight the intricate web of global challenges we're facing today. From geopolitical tensions to economic uncertainties and climate concerns, it's clear that collective action is needed to address these pressing issues. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall and know what's right now. Firstly, we looked at the impact of the conflict on the global energy market. The current situation has led to supply chain disruptions, price volatility, and shifts in global economic power dynamics. Some countries may benefit from the increased demand for their oil, while others may struggle with higher prices and reduced supplies. Next, we reported on Pope Leo XIV's 12-day tour of Africa, which has sparked a rare pause in fighting between Anglophone separatists and state forces in Cameroon. The pontiff's visit has led to a 3-day cessation of hostilities, allowing civilians to safely travel and celebrate his arrival. Lastly, we focused on the deepening humanitarian crisis in Sudan, where a devastating war has left millions of people in need of assistance. The conflict has forced over 14 million Sudanese to flee their homes, with tens of thousands of people missing or forcibly disappeared. The United Nations estimates that at least 70,000 people have been killed in the fighting, and the country is on the brink of a catastrophic food crisis. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges faced by nations around the world. We'll continue to monitor these situations and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskwiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, in the electric vehicle industry, Lucid Motors has announced a major expansion of its partnership with Uber, including a substantial order for over 50,000 Lucid vehicles for Uber's robotaxi fleet and an additional $200 million investment in Lucid. This deal has the potential to revolutionize the transportation industry with autonomous driving technology. Secondly, we reported on the recent developments in the U.S. stock market, where major companies like Uber and Lucid Motors are making significant investments in electric vehicles and autonomous driving technology. Lastly, in the world of finance, Poonawalla FinCorp has secured Rs 100 crore in commitments for its QIP funding round, while One Asset has secured Rs 100 crore for its PIPE strategy. These innovative investment opportunities are catering to the evolving needs of the market, and investors are taking notice. As the first always say, the more things change, the more they stay the same. But in this case, it seems like the future of transportation and finance is changing fast. Remember to stay level-headed and don't panic. We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and bringing you expert analysis and timely insights. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's innovative spacecraft, Integrity, has successfully splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, marking a significant milestone in the Artemis II mission. The crew conducted crucial scientific experiments, including studying human tissue response to microgravity and radiation in deep space. This research will pave the way for future lunar bases and expeditions to Mars. In other news, NASA is exploring new frontiers with its cutting-edge technology, as seen in the recent launch of a revolutionary spacecraft designed to push the boundaries of human knowledge. The agency's dedication to advancing our understanding of the universe is inspiring a new generation of space enthusiasts. Lastly, a 9-year-old girl named Kayla Polkinghorne has sparked a global debate about Pluto's planetary status with her heartfelt letter to NASA. While the International Astronomical Union's definition remains unchanged, Kayla's passion and courage have reignited a conversation about the wonders of our solar system and the power of individual voices in shaping our collective understanding. These stories showcase humanity's innate curiosity and drive for discovery, reminding us that the pursuit of knowledge is often driven by creativity, passion, and a willingness to challenge established norms. Join us next time on the AI Daily Press as we continue to explore the wonders of the universe and the human spirit that drives us to discover. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, the Detroit Lions are gearing up for the upcoming NFL season with a strategic draft plan, focusing on bolstering their defensive lineup and addressing key needs at outside linebacker and defensive tackle. The team is expected to select Harold Perkins Jr., a talented linebacker from LSU, and Tim Keenan III, a defensive tackle from Alabama, in the 4th round. In other news, David Bailey, the standout player from Texas Tech, has been making waves with his exceptional skills on the field. As the NFL draft approaches, Bailey's name has been on everyone's lips, with many speculating that he could be a top 5 pick. This young athlete has a unique combination of speed, explosiveness, and agility that allows him to terrorize opponents off the edges. We'll continue to follow these stories and more as they develop. Now, for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. I'm Charles, and tonight we're summarizing 3 stories that caught our attention. First, we looked at the impact of technology on our daily lives as Microsoft discontinues telephone activation of Windows in favor of a more secure online process. This change may seem small, but it reflects the company's efforts to adapt to changing times while prioritizing user experience and security. Next, we traveled to Waterford, Ireland, where a tragic event unfolded with the passing of 70-year-old farmer John Cashman. Our thoughts are with his family and the community of Dungarvan, who are coming together to support them during this difficult time. Lastly, we touched on the importance of preserving traditional crafts in rural America, from woodworking to quilting. These skills not only contribute to our cultural heritage, but also provide a sense of purpose and fulfillment for those who practice them. These stories remind us that even in a rapidly changing world, it's essential to appreciate the simple things, respect tradition, and find ways to make our lives easier and more secure. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. First off, let's talk tech. I recently dished about the latest smart home gadgets that are making our lives easier, from voice-controlled lights to automated vacuum cleaners. It's amazing how far technology has come, right? Next up, we have a bit of controversy in the performing arts world. Timothée Chalamet sparked outrage with his comments on ballet and opera being outdated art forms. But, as it turns out, his remarks actually boosted ticket sales for the Royal Ballet and Opera. Who knew a little shade could be so good for business? On a more serious note, we touched on the devastating situation in Iraqi Kurdistan, where civilians are caught in the crossfire between Iran and the US. It's heartbreaking to see innocent people affected by war. And finally, let's talk fashion. The latest trends coming out of Paris are absolute stunners. Who doesn't love a good dose of French style and sophistication? Stay informed, stay empathetic, and remember to always keep a sense of humor. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we explored the latest research on a genetic study that challenges traditional views on ancestry, revealing surprising connections between ancient populations. This breakthrough has significant implications for our understanding of human history and migration patterns. Next, we took an exclusive tour behind the scenes of the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History, where we discovered incredible treasures, including the world's largest mosquito collection and a stunning array of bird-of-paradise feathers. We met with curators and scientists who are dedicated to preserving our natural history for future generations. Lastly, we examined a difficult decision made by the Colombian government to cull a population of wild hippos that have been roaming free in the country for decades. These invasive animals, descendants of those brought by Pablo Escobar, pose a threat to native wildlife and local communities. The situation highlights the need for comprehensive conservation strategies that balance human and animal welfare concerns. These stories remind us of the intricate relationships between humans, wildlife, and their environments, and challenge us to think critically about our responsibilities towards the natural world. And that completes our evening podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until tomorrow morning, I'm David @Tanacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.